Hi YouTube, I want to work on part 2 of the resources back to Quranics. Now, we saw earlier from when I utilize the search function, if I need to do anything, I have to type in the word that I'm looking for. If I go to the Quran, for instance, with the word fight, it will bring back the specific word. In this case, it has brought back every reference, 95 of them, in the Quran that utilized the specific word I searched for, which was fight. Quran Index, this website here, works a little differently. So J, we have jihad. If we do go to jihad, it gives us this verses including the word jihad. See striving in the way of Allah, see fighting. Again, further corroboration that jihad is not just about striving in terms of self-improvement, it is about fighting. Striving in the way of Allah is jihad fi sabilillah, which is fighting, combat. So let's have a look. Verses including the word F, and here they are. So these are verses including the word fighting. Right? So in this case, instead of us having to think of a word, we can simply go to the word list that's already been prepared for us, and it will simply deliver all of these verses. What would be useful is to do a comparison to see how many results this one churns out versus the original search here, which churned out 95 results. Now let's look at Quran 3356, because someone brought this to my attention. I've got Aubrey Hilali Khan. To go to the translations, we click here and we choose any given translation we want to see. To get rid of one, we simply just click the X sign, it'll go away. All of these say Allah and His angels send blessings on the Prophet, but we can actually copy the Arabic right here. And once we've got that, we can then go to a site like this, Reverso. Reverso is a fairly good AI dictionary, and it works differently to the way that the Google Translate works, for instance. Not something I utilize, I must admit. I rarely need to. In fact, I've never had to translate from the Arabic. For me to quibble over a single word is not important. I would rather collect an overwhelming amount of evidence from multiple different sources which prove the point than to quibble over a single word in the Quran. I don't find that to be very useful, but it might be of interest to you for some reason. I showed you kalamullah.com, an incredibly useful site for finding references. You'll find complete hadith collections, you'll find various Qurans, you name it, Sharia manuals. It's fantastic. And kalamullah.com, very useful website. Go to that, go download books. I've got hundreds of books from them already. Archive.org has a large selection of books that are no longer copyrighted, which you can download. They're in PDF format. In fact, they're in multiple formats, from Kindle, EPUB, and various other formats that you can use. Let us look for a particular Sharia manual. So I've typed in Hidayah, Commentary on the Islamic Laws. I'll hit go and let's see. Here we go. So this is the Hidayah, Commentary on the Islamic Laws. This one has been viewed 5,555 times. Lucky me. And here it is. It's in English. This is a 4-volume set of the Sharia. This is a commentary. The original Sharia manuals are really the Islamic version of the Talmud. So the Hadiths are the Mishnah. This is effectively the Gemara. This is the commentary on the commentary. The commentaries eventually came to replace the actual Sharia manuals because these gave much greater depth, much greater description to the application of the law. Much more examples were provided. So there was far more context. These became much more useful. This is volume 2 of this Hidayah. There are 4 volumes available. You can find them on the internet if you have a look. I can also help you with those if you do need help. So if you click here, you can do single page view. If you do this, you can do double page view. You can do thumbnail views. You can zoom in and out. One benefit is that very often, let's go here. You've got the different formats that you can download. You've got PDF. Sometimes you have more than one PDF type you can download. Some of them are encrypted. The occasional one is encrypted. You can read it, but you cannot make any edits to it. You cannot do any highlighting on it or anything of that nature. Some of them, though, are image type PDFs and not text PDFs. You cannot highlight them. You can only view them, and thus you cannot search inside them with Adobe Acrobat. But what you can do is you can actually search inside of them on archive.org. It actually gives you that facility, which doesn't work when you view the same document in Adobe Acrobat. This one I can't search in, so the search is run, and here we found the reference to the word jizyat. If you cannot search within your own browser, if you cannot search within your PDF application like in Adobe Acrobat, you can search within the document here. It makes it searchable. Very useful, and if you need to download, choose which version you want and download from here. Now my final resources on this one, and I'll wrap this video up, is I have 50 or 60 hours of online content. I did an entire series, almost 20 videos with Logos Media. So these are the 3 recent episodes that I did discussing jihad in detail. And from the Sharia, what is the Sharia, different Sharia manuals, Sharia definitions, and also, for instance, this case, I discussed what it means to be subjugated under Islam as a dhimmi and what the jizya means. The series is called the Unspun series. This is the playlist here. You're going to find a number of videos. They should prove very, very helpful. I provide the resources. I go in detail through them, show you how they work, and it is really going to be an interesting experience for you. If you don't know about the subjects from slavery to the Muslim Brotherhood and so on, you can learn a great deal here. This is a series I did on Judaism. I did 6 episodes which indirectly or directly focused on Judaism. These 4 were specifically about the Talmud, and then I also did 2 on the Islam series, which was Islam versus the Jews. If I were to recommend one, I would do part 4, which you see here, Sex and Marriage in the Talmud. This deals with the views of Jews in terms of sex and in terms of marriage, and it's completely opposite to what is claimed on the internet, that it allows pedophilia and so on, because those verses that they're taking actually come out of a chapter on crime and punishment, and specifically on a chapter on rape and the punishments for rape, and they claim that this is permission, which is idiocy. And finally, my own channel. You can find a great deal of resources here. These are short form videos. The other videos that I have there are fairly long, 90 minutes to 2 hours at length. This is going to be far more useful to you, I think, if you just have a little bit of time and want to catch up on things. Book references in each description of each video. They should prove useful to you. Download them, read them, make note. And also, as I go through the book, I'm obviously highlighting sections so you know what it is that's important, what's not important. Simplifies your time in getting to the meat of what you want. You need anything, let me know. I'll be happy to help you in any way that I can. So yeah, please, again, like, share, subscribe, do support me. I'm trying to make this as useful as I can to all of you out there so that you have the facts you need to win the arguments that you're making and to just push back against the extensive propaganda, lies, and misinformation that is put out there regarding Islam. And once I've got this settled and once we're all on the same page on this and we all have the right information and we're just putting out the truth, then we can start looking at the Bible and taking that message which they have twisted and pushing back against that with knowledge. Anyway, thank you and goodbye.